One knife crime every 4 minutes. That's 350 a day in England and Wales, according to new figures, not including offences involving under-16s. No wonder more and more people believe the country is getting more dangerous. But they're wrong, according to the latest British Crime Survey report, which shows overall crime has gone down 10%, with offences involving violence falling even further. The Home Secretary Jackie Smith talking to me earlier. Well, we're joined now by Nathaniel Peat, who, after his close friend Kyan Prince was stabbed to death in 2006, set up the charity safety box to help deter young people from carrying weapons. Nathaniel, why do you think, there you have that 5% figure of kids between 10 and 17, boys carrying knives, girls 3%. Why do they carry knives?
Well, a number of the young people that we speak to, we work in the schools with, they carry the knives out of protection. A lot of them say, you know, everyone tells us to put down the knives, but how will I protect myself? A lot of them grow up in rough areas where, you know, there's youth violence, there's a lot of people which are carrying weapons, and so the majority of the young people which we work with carry weapons out of protection. Then there's a small group as well which carry it for, you know, the glory of the street and that type of.
But the majority seem therefore to be rather like the 65% of the population who think the world's getting more dangerous.
That's right. A lot of it is actually a perception. I mean, the media talks a great deal about knife-related incidents and stabbings, and it really does kind of send the wrong type of message to a lot of these young people. They believe that if they walk out of their house, they might be a young group of young people which is going to be carrying a knife. It's a perception, and really, I don't think it is as violent as the survey suggests.
But with Safety Box, this charity you've set up, how do you actually persuade a young person not to carry a knife?
The Safety Box isn't exactly a charity. We're more a social enterprise. But the key thing that we emphasize on is actually changing the mindset. The most dangerous thing on the street is not necessarily the gun, not necessarily the knife, but it's the mind. If you can change the mind of the young people, then you can effectively change what they may do outside of the classroom, outside of the schools.
How do you set about that?
Through various different methods of coaching, motivation, inspiring them to achieve, showing that they are limitless in their potential, awakening their creative potential, giving them positive role models, showing them how to handle conflict, teaching them resolution techniques. The Safety Box addresses it in a...
do you think it helps when the government says, we're going to lock you up if we're seen with a knife?
Well, the thing is that measure to me is a much more reactive measure. What we're interested in is preventative. If we can get into the minds of the young people, then we could create change for the future. We've got one thing which we do, which is showing them defensive tactics as well. Where we've got the really rough kids, they say that they carry weapons for protection. We say, okay, well, we'll take the knife out of your hand. We'll teach you defensive tactics so you can defend against knives. So it's about the mindset.
Nathaniel Peat, thank you very much for coming in. You're watching Channel 4 News, 7:33. Our main headlines tonight.
Violent crime is also going down, in the police figures by 8% and in the crime survey figures by 12%. Today, that was, of course, welcomed by the Prime Minister.
Violent crime is down, serious crime is down. We're continuing to make huge progress because we have visible policing on the streets, but we've got to deal with this knife crime, and we've got to deal with it by making it unacceptable for any young person to have a knife on the streets.
Well, it's that knife crime that's dominating the headlines. The hotspots for it are, we know, in particular London, but also Manchester and the West Midlands. The police recorded just over 22,000 serious knife crimes, but it is the first time they've recorded them, so we don't know if it's going up or down. The crime survey reckoned about 130,000 crimes involved the use of a knife. That is down a bit, but then the survey didn't talk to under-16s about it, the group there is the most concern about, which brings us to people's perceptions of crime.